Hey there everyone, it's Joe from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, selling you the best bullion bars and coins, shipped to you worldwide from Melbourne in Australia. This is your weekly precious metals analysis, where we take a look at the big four: gold, silver, platinum and palladium. Of course, head over to youtube.com/bullion now. Man, we are a big family these days. 7,600 and something subscribers. That's about 110 roughly, more than last week's analysis, or a few days before that, even about 10 days ago right here. Just moving on and onwards and upwards in the world. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the family and join the winning team. Today is Monday, the 12th of October 2020, the ever fateful 2020. Now I think from this Monday moving forward, I'm pretty certain now every single Monday, not too long after the markets open, you are going to receive an analysis. So it will be much more regular now. So expect that every single Monday morning, roughly, in Australian time. So let's take a look at gold in the US dollar. And of course, we're using the tradingview.com website. And I think this will be pretty quick. Not a lot has changed. We have seen a nice little positive movement. So the last time we were here, this was October the 2nd, roughly, we were hovering at around about $1,907, where we did have, just giving you the quick weather report for a second, we did have a move to test the previous all-time high back here, previous all-time high of 1920. If we show you on the monthly, that's the previous all-time high right there of 1920. That is since that became a level after we broke up $2,075, became a kind of slight level-ish of support, but is now, it was resistance again. It was a failed move, so oftentimes from a failed move comes a fast move in the opposite direction, all the way back down to about $30 down. But since, a nice little positive movement above this trend line right here, currently hovering at over 1920, so 1926, 1927. We've hit as high as about 1930. I think that is 1933 right there. So that's a positive short-term movement. I wouldn't yet say that we are out of the woods. Not quite yet. For me, I would need to see it move and stay above for a period of time around about your 1,960 US dollar level. That's just my opinion, of course. And of course, you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt, and it's not financial advice, but we're not out of the woods just yet. Let's take a look. This is the daily time frame. We're getting into overbought territory in the daily time frame, in the RSI down here, the relative strength index. We are in the weekly time frame. We are in oversold territory, but you can stay in oversold territory for quite some time. So you can have this big move down, and you can easily stay in oversold territory for quite a bit of time. So don't just automatically think, because this looks like it's starting to potentially tick over, don't think that is necessarily going to be the case. You can see here it's a little bit of a fake out. You can have oversold, back down again. So just keep that in mind, and take a look on the monthly as well. You can see here on the monthly time frame, I know this is getting a little bit messy, or busy I should say, around about here, but take a look on the monthly time frame. We've been in overbought territory for quite a bit. I mean, all the way since back here roughly at around about that sort of 1260 kind of level. We've been in that overbought kind of territory, so it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to stay up there. So it's been a while since we've been in overbought territory, and we always eventually go back down to visit the oversold territory, and we might possibly be starting that soon. So that is definitely not out of the woods. So just bear that in mind. I want to see it break above 1960 and stay above there. What I would like to see, if you know, because I want to see the price go higher, what I would like to see is, what are in October, I'd like to see it break above 1960, maybe have a little bit of a retest of the 2000 level, come back down, and then bang, off to the races. But that's again on the monthly time frame. But I really need to see that before I can be confident to say we are definitely moving higher and not moving down any further. What I will get you to do is, because I have in this video and a couple of videos previous, I've talked about my targets moving lower. I'll get you to pause this one and go watch this one. I'll put a link to it above now. If you want to see what my targets are, you can also just very easily just pause this video and you can see the different lines. The quick one is somewhere between 1800 to 1750 is my low points, and I've got my couple of little targets moving higher in the interim. And one day soon I'll do a where I think the price of gold is going in the longer term, and we'll talk about those sort of higher targets. That is gold in USD. Let's take a quick look in AUD, Australian dollars, 2,670 roughly, and that's just where we are. Look, there might be a little bit of resistance here at the 2,740 to 2,750 dollar level. But again, as I always say, everything's based on the US dollar, and it depends on what the US dollar is doing against the Australian dollar in terms of where the Australian dollar price goes. And for a little bit, if you need a little bit more of an explanation on that, what a great segue. I'll put a link above now to this video that Michael did just a few days ago called How Forex, or the foreign exchange, how the foreign exchange can affect your gold and silver investment. I think you should watch that. That might go into a little bit more detail of what I was talking about just then. So that is gold in Australian dollars. Again, just skipping over it pretty quickly, but some of you really like me doing it, so I gave you a little taste there. Silver on the daily time frame. Let's get rid of that. Really should get that membership, shouldn't I? Silver on the daily time frame. We were hovering about 23.80 back on the, where are we? October the 2nd is where we were last time, about 23.80. A rise up to 24.50, a fake out down to 22.80 roughly, and this nice little movement up here. Same with gold. This move doesn't mean we're out of the woods whatsoever, particularly more so in silver, seeing as though we have not broken through any major trend line. You can see this one right here, not broken out of it just yet, and this one have not broken above that just yet. We're starting to move into overbought territory on the daily time frame. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, look, this would be around about the spot that if we were going to have a dip down further, it's going to do it around about here. Let me go back to the daily. Yeah, it's going to start to do it around about here, if you can see that on the weekly time frame. See, you come up, you have a thing, and it becomes what is known as a dead cat bounce. If you want to look up that terminology of what a dead cat bounce means, just Google that. But this is, as I said, around about the point where it would happen if it's going to happen. I've talked about my recent low points. I can get rid of this one right here at the 2120 level because we're so close to that. If we are going to have a further breakdown, it's not just going to break down to 2120 anymore. So let me get rid of that for the moment. And I would have said last time that the next most logical spot here would be down at your $19.80 level, or somewhere up against this trend line right here, but it's kind of coming close to it. So I would suggest more so now your $19.80 level would be the next level of support, in my opinion, if we are moving down further in silver. Let's just say if we go gangbusters and we do continue up, then I do want to see it head above. I'll put a little level right here. You would want it to break above and stay above right here at around about $27.20. Again, that is just my opinion based on this level right here, but you want to break above this trend line. That's the most obvious one. So I'll get rid of that for now. Let's go back to the weekly, take a quick look at the relative strength index. Similar to gold, you can spend a lot of time in the oversold territory before you continue up, so don't automatically assume we're turning the corner and heading back up from here. Again, I'm not going to say, definitely heading down from here or definitely heading up from here. These are just the indications, but just don't assume we're heading up from here. But don't assume we're heading down. Just Keep it in mind, okay? That's it for the weekly. Let's take a look at the monthly. And in the monthly, we are in we're in overbought territory. Could we be heading further down from here? Yep, it's quite possible. And I've given you my next support level target. That's in silver in USD. Australian dollars, we've got, I would say this level would be a level of support right about, I'd say around about there. That didn't work. Why did that not work? Let's try that once more. We'll do that as a horizontal line. That's much better. Round about here at $36, $36.20 in Australian dollars would be a level of resistance if we are moving higher from here. Again, though, as I say, it's really based on the US dollar price, and it depends how silver is floating against the Australian, what USD is doing against the AUD. So that's where we are in, excuse me, in the Australian dollar, $34.70. Currently, we were down around about $33.30. We've had a nice little rise in the price as well. So that is gold and silver in both USD and AUD. Quickly do platinum just in USD and palladium in USD. Last week, let's see, October the 2nd. October the 2nd, look, similar thing. We had a rise, it was a fake out, similar thing all the way down to roughly $850, and since breaking back up, nothing much left to say. This is pretty neutral for me at the moment. So what I'll get you to do, again, you can watch this video for my down targets, my up targets for platinum, or you can pause this video. Where are we? Pause this video you're watching right now, and you can see the levels here. Both the trend lines and the horizontal lines are my next levels of support right there, and my next levels of resistance right there. So that's pretty much it for platinum. And palladium, we've had a nice little rise in palladium. Check this out. We were October the 2nd. Where are we? Right here. It has done the opposite. Instead of having a fake move up and then a fast move down, we've had just a nice little move up. Let's take a look on the weekly time frame. There's the weekly. Yeah, so we were hovering at around about, actually, I'm so sorry, we need to go back to the daily time frame. October the 2nd. We were in this move from 2300 all the way up to 2370, a little bit of a touch of the 18 average of highs right there on the daily time frame, and bang, all the way up to 2475. Let's take a look at that on the monthly. Now, interestingly, this is on the monthly. We've had this, as I said, the previous high here of about 2875, the low of about $1,500. This is starting to look interesting. I don't think we're out of the woods yet. I think, as I may have said before, I want it to hit and break above the $2,600 level, roughly $2,615, in order for me to be very confident that we are moving higher. But the direction is looking good so far. If we are moving back from here, I would suggest that this level may be a level of probably a very big level of support, I would say, at around about $2,032. And of course, I was just talking about there around about your 2617 be a level of resistance, and of course your previous all-time high of 2875. Out of all of the precious metals, I would say for the moment, and none of this is financial advice, of course, I would say palladium is looking the most positive at the moment. I'll leave it at that. I'm not giving you calls either way, but I'll just say the most positive vibe I get is out of palladium at just currently as I see it. So again, don't do any trades based on that. We could certainly have dips, and of course, if you're looking to buy more and more, dips are great opportunities, particularly if you think the fundamentals of a particular investment are great. I think the fundamentals of both gold and silver are fantastic over the longer term. I don't know so much about the fundamentals of platinum and palladium, but just looking at palladium at the moment on the technical side of things, it's starting to look positive. So that's just my opinion, of course. you need to be subscribed to the channel in order to get my weekly price analyses, and of course all the other awesome stuff here that we've got. We're doing lots of videos. We're ramping up the videos now. We've taken a bit of a I wouldn't call it a hiatus or a break, but the number of videos that we were putting out was getting close to, sometimes it was like 2, maybe 3 if we were lucky. We've just been so busy, but we've done a bit of shifting around of responsibilities and things where I can devote much more time now to getting, we're hoping, say, a minimum of 5 videos a week, one for every day of the week, and maybe even an extra one for the weekend as well. So you're going to see analyses every Monday. You're going to see 2, maybe even 3 unboxings or product reviews per week. You're going to see at least one sort of educational type of video as well, like this here that Michael did. And of course you are going to get an auction every week too. So 5 to 6 videos per week now, starting from today. So hit the big red subscribe button to join the family, because we are absolutely kicking butt in the very narrow bullion dealer on YouTube space, but we're kicking butt nonetheless. So once we've over 10,000, I'll be even happier, and then we'll just be taking on the world. All right, that's it, gang. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, and we'll speak to you soon.